Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Good morning. Everyone set, cocked, locked, blissed. Your dial is set correctly to USA Prepares. We're delighted that you're here. Today is Friday. This is October the 2nd, 9 a.m. We are transmitting on Genesis Communications, 9 a.m. to 11, Monday through Friday. The call-in line, if you'd like to share with us, is 866-582-9923.
No, 33.
9933. And the listen line is 605-562-7727. And today we are live in studio with Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. This is Mike from Tennessee, as most of you know, but today it's Mike from across the room because I'm here in studio with Vince. And today we have Miles from across the pond, as it were. Good morning, Miles.
Good morning, gentlemen. And there will be no whining today.
This is a wine-free zone. And today we're going to cover many topics, and I appreciate Vincent allowing me to have the mic, as he just gave me the script literally 2 seconds ago and said, "You're live, Mike. Go for it." And I want to welcome everybody aboard. This is a great time I've had for the last 48 hours, spending some time over here meeting the Finelli family and just admiring all of the details and the craftsmanship and the just the intricacies of what this man has been able to put together on the Finelli farm. And I know that it's encouraging for me to see that there are other people that will take the time to do things right, that do not cut corners, and that literally walk the walk. And folks, this is a man who does that. He does walk the walk. Vincent, you want to pick it up from here? And
Sure. Thanks so much for that introduction. And you know, in class, we are here in the Ozarks, and Mike Parsons drove in to spend some time with us and look at the Ozark Mountains and see what it's like living here. Lives in Tennessee, and so here we are. We took a walk around the farm. We looked at some other farms, and we just looked at what it's like living in the Ozarks, and we shared some stories about failures, and I'm talking about equipment failures, truck failures, automobile failures, and so forth. And Miles has a similar lifestyle in Europe, where he lives on a farm, and he has farms surrounding him, and he's having failures, equipment failures, and so forth. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today. We'll talk about equipment failures, why they're happening. We're going to talk about logistics, supply chain problems, what we're seeing in real life, why it's taking so long to get some parts. We're going to talk about history that's not being taught, building a village, vinegar. We're going to talk about vinegar and how important vinegar is and why. And I'll give you a brief update on some of the two expos that are happening in this part of the world. So, Miles, Mike and I have been talking about these hydraulic hose failures, and you and I have on and off the air. Can you explain what you're seeing in Europe with hydraulic hose failures, and why would anybody even care that Mike Parsons is having hose failures, Vin Finelli is having hose failures, Miles is having hose failures, our other friends are having hose failures? Who cares? Why is that important?
Well, it's important because if you rely on machinery where you create your living with that machine park, or you have to place your life on the line with certain equipment, you better know what you're having there, and you better know that you can rely on whatever you have installed there.
And Miles, one of the things that we do, and maybe it's not all that wise to do it, but farmers do it. We pick up things with our front end loaders on our tractors. We pick up things with our backhoes, front end buckets, and those devices are controlled by hydraulic pressure, and that hydraulic fluid travels through these lines. And if they burst, that bucket can come flying down. It can weigh, hundreds and hundreds of pounds, crush people, kill people. There can be tremendous injuries as a result of these hydraulic failures.
Well, we have a 5-ton concrete block on one of the tractors. If we do silage in a big silage container, so 5 tons. If the hydraulic fails there, you will feel that right instantly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And another thing that I've noticed with these hydraulic hose failures is hydraulic fluid will spray out of a small hole, like a pinhole size hole in a hose, and hydraulic fluid will come out at tremendous pressure. Yep. Let's say 2,000 or 3,000 pounds per square inch. Yep. So high that if your skin is there, it can go right into your skin as if it were injected with a syringe and can kill you.
Yeah, you get oil poisoning from that. Well, I had, it's a couple of weeks ago now, approximately 4 weeks, I took a shower in hydraulic fluid, just picking up something, and suddenly I was very astonished that I was bathing with my head in hydraulic fluid. So yes, it's dangerous, and we need to take care of our equipment here, and especially of where do we buy stuff. So I'm going to ruin a new sponsor for you right away.
Already? It's like 12 minutes, Miles.
Well, you know the company, Parker.
Yeah, we've got I'm glad you mentioned Parker. We have a piece of Parker hose that Mike has in his hands right in the studio. Yeah, please continue.
Okay. Parker Hoses is one of the large hoses distributors in hydraulic systems. And they, a couple of years ago, they started to have their new and improved versions of hydraulic hosings and a little bit thinner diameters of the inner walls. So they make it through to the warranty period, and after that, they deliberately decrease the lifespan of these hydraulic systems, hydraulic hoses, and other components in hydraulic systems, in order having you spending the money.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So what I'm using here now is military grade hydraulic equipment, and since we use that, we have the increased strength of the inner walls, and that works pretty fine.
Mike, why don't you address that? You've got a piece of couple feet long of brand new sample Parker, what would you call it, military grade or industrial grade hose?
Yeah, this is a unique product that Parker told me do not talk about because this is what they sell to the city of Memphis for all of their equipment. And I mentioned that a friend of mine, Vincent Finelli, who's got a farm, is having failure after failure of all of his hydraulic hoses, and are they experiencing that? And they said, no, not at all. And I said, well, so you don't have people coming in replacing hoses every so many months for the same hose? No, not at all. Well, then I dug a little bit deeper, and he had confessed to me, well, yeah, we've actually got a new type of hose we don't even advertise. We don't tell people about it because we sell it to the municipalities and the government. And this piece of hose has 2 steel cords running through the center of it. So it's extremely reinforced hose. And it's specifically made to withstand the elements. And I'd asked them if they were concerned about exposure to things in the environment. Because normal hydraulic hoses should last for several years under normal conditions. And other than being snagged by a tree limb or getting caught up in some type of equipment where it's cut or torn or ruptured, they shouldn't just fail like that. And he said, yeah, this is our solution, and but we don't sell it to the general public. We sell it to the government. And I spoke to another hose manufacturer that sells Aeroquip, and they said the same thing. They've got a specially manufactured hose specifically for the government. that they have access to. Now, if you go in and you ask for it, if you know what to ask for, you can get it, but they're not promoting it, and they really don't want people to know about it. But they actually have two different grades, one for the government and another grade, a lesser quality for the rest of us.
Oh, and it
Miles,
makes a big difference when you're starting to bale hay, and you really need, or you're just cutting, okay, and then somebody's tedding, and then comes in the silage wagon, and it makes a huge difference if you can rely on your systems without just being set in the pasture with a hydraulic problem. And we had over 80 problems, hydraulic related problems this year here in our village.
80 hydraulic problems. Miles, I can't top that, but what I can tell you is that in the last day we used the tractor to bale hay, I had one hydraulic hose failure, another hydraulic hose failure, and then I had an O-ring failure that puts a coupling on a hydraulic hose, and then I had another O-ring failure on a hydraulic coupling. So I had three failures.
May I ask you what kind of O-rings that were? Were that the normal black rubber type O-rings?
Yes, they were, but they were the original John Deere factory equipment O-rings, and I replaced them with, I believe I used Viton, Viton. Yeah, I believe that's what I used. And sometimes we have nitrile, and we have, the standard commercially available black O-rings. And in class, these are little rings of rubber. Oh, let's say the size of a dime, but the center would be missing. So a ring of rubber, and they are used to put hoses together and couplings together, and they're used on gasoline lines in automobiles. They're used on transmission coolant lines. They're used in lots of places, as well as hydraulic lines. And what we're saying is we're experiencing failures. And one of the things that happens with these O-rings, some of them, not all of them, but some of them have partial exposure to the air, and they seem to get hard and crack. And the hydraulic pressure from the inside of that coupling or hose against a weakened O-ring causes the hydraulic fluid to leak out and spray out at high pressures. And it's dangerous. And Miles took an oil bath, and so did I. And it's not fun. It really isn't fun. We'll be right back after these few short commercial announcements. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I'm the president of the largest private news and research network in the world. And I paid for this airtime because I have an important message to the American people. There's a change coming that the government isn't telling you about. This change has deep implications for life in America, from where you shop to the doctors you visit and the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. Thing is, I was right then too. A few years ago, I warned that housing prices would collapse. They did. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash. They did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all.
You can watch the video for free right now by going to dollardownfall.com. Again, that's dollardownfall.com.
The human body is more than 60% water. Your brain and muscles are 75% water. And your blood is 92% water. Water's vital to your body, and alkalizing your water is the key to keep it running at its best. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops keep your entire body healthy, boosts energy, promotes weight loss, and even fights cancer. Call 800-518-7615 or go to alkavision.com to find out more. That's ALKAvision.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendovite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendovite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years. And Extendovite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendovite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendovite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Class Miles is with us, and Mike Parsons is in the studio with me, and we're talking about failures of equipment and why it's important. In the lifestyle that you've seen here at Mike Parsons, as you know, around the farm, you probably see that we have spares of almost everything, right? Because where are we going to get the parts? Literally, where would we get them?
Right, and it just makes sense to have backups so that you don't have to drop everything and drive 50 miles to town. You can just trade out the part right then, or pick up with replacements and move forward. You've got duplicates of virtually everything, and it might not be the exact duplicate like your tractors. You might not be able to drive the same exact tractor. Got a variant that you can apply that will get the job done.
Miles, I'm going to share a story with you and the class. Mike Parsons said to me last night, we were coming into the farmhouse, and he said, Vinny, what you ought to do is find a hydraulic hose company that's going out of business, where you can buy the...
That's what we did here.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to share that story with you. That hydraulic press is a pretty darn expensive piece of gear, and then you need the fittings to go with it, and then you need the bulk hose on rolls. So how did that work for you, Miles? What did you end up doing?
Well, let me share you one thing about the rubber topic first, and then I go into how do we fix these issues here. Number one, it's very important to know how rubber is being made today. The rubber industry is like the metal industry. They use recycled rubber parts. They shred them, and then they liquefy them. There's a couple of processes. One of the most common is a ozone of they make process with liquidification process with ozone, and then they mix silica to that, and only add a slight amount of new rubber, of brand new rubber product. So they increase the strength then for us with new products such as materials such as silica and others for tires then. So this is how it's been done. And if you're in the situation that you buy rubber, you can very simply test that rubber if it has it feels like a little wetter. If it feels like a little wetter, the amount of fresh rubber is always a little higher in there. This is when you touch the rubber with the O-rings, or you use Vitin for the O-rings. Then let me come to how we fixed it here. Because we had so many problems, hydraulic failures, we now have 2 service mobiles, like 2 Mercedes Sprinter, that are service mobiles, and we have these hydraulic presses. So we have the hoses. We bought the military-grade hoses and the clamps and everything that's needed for that. So we have, and we even can produce the tubings, the hydraulic tubes for that in these service vehicles. And if a farmer here has a hydraulic failure now in the field, it's just a call. Maybe they have to wait for 2 or 3 hours, but otherwise the farmer will be serviced right away.
And Miles, that's so important because Mike Parsons and I spent some time with another farmer yesterday, late afternoon, and he had a tractor, over 120 horsepower. It was a pretty large international tractor. Well, that tractor is so heavy, probably 14,000 pounds, maybe more. It's so heavy that how do you bring that to a shop to fix it? You really have to bring the shop to the tractor where the tractor is broken down, because you might not have steering. If the hydraulic failure occurs, you probably have lost power steering. You don't want to start the tractor again because you'll be spraying maybe 30 gallons of hydraulic fluid all over the field, contaminating the field, preventing crops from growing. It's a pretty serious problem, and I think you've got the right answer. A mobile vehicle that is a service truck for hydraulic failures. And when you say tubing, so you're talking about the metal lines, the metal tubes that are high pressure tubes for hydraulic fluid. You can bend them into shape and cut them and flare them as well?
Yes, exactly. We can do that right away in these trucks. We invested pretty heavily in this equipment, but it's worth it. It's worth it. The production is flowing now again.
Miles, in this side of the Atlantic, we have a saying, make hay while the sun shines. I guess that you have something similar there too, right? You have to make that hay while you can before it rains and before the hay is damaged by too much exposure to the sun. Miles in Europe will be right back with us, and Mike Parsons in the studio. I'm Vin Finelli.
Okay, open your mouth and say ah. When your child has a sore throat, you need to know when to get help. The doctor recommended Say Ah Sore Throat Exam is your solution. The scientifically designed oral retractor offers a clear view of the throat, relaxing the tongue and minimizing gag reflex. Compare with a medical grade chart, website, and app. Then you'll know just what to tell your doctor. A wellness plan in your hands in minutes. Go to SayAHHnow.com. SayAhNow.com, the new mainstay for every family's first aid kit.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at PatriotNecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
PatriotNecklace.com?
PatriotNecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from PatriotNecklace.com.
Did you know that select musical tones have the power to heal? By listening to 7 amazing songs that contain these tones, you can experience the power of music therapy.
I used to work in a pretty stressful atmosphere, but I started using the whole tones in the office, and I'm experiencing more focus, motivation, peace, and better relationships.
WholeTones99.com is a unique music therapy program featuring 7 secret ancient healing frequencies uncovered in the music of King David. Now you too can unlock the healing secrets of the Bible, as we are offering a free sample of this music so that you can discover their power to heal, relieve stress, and break negative cycles.
I use the tones to calm my 5, 3, and 2-year-olds to stop the fighting, and it works.
Now you can experience the healing music therapy in the comfort of your own home or office. Visit WholeTones99.com and get a free song. Visit WHOLETones99.com today for your free song. That's WholeTones99.com. WholeTones99.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at gcnlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at gcnlive.com.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Most of us already know that taking a fish oil supplement to boost omega-3s is a good idea. But did you know that about 60% of Americans are actually deficient in omega-3s? Did you know that most fish oil products contain only about 25% omega-3s and the remaining 75% is undesirable fish fat? Heck, did you know that more than 90% of fish oil supplements sold in the USA are not even made here? If you want to boost your omega-3s using the finest American-made fish oil, check out Nutrigold Fish Oil Supplements on www.fishoil.best. Nutrigold fish oils are independently 5-star certified and guaranteed to be exceptionally pure. That means no more fish burps. Best of all, just one Nutrigold fish oil capsule contains more omega-3s than 4 standard fish oil capsules. Go to www.fishoil.best or call 888-920-1497 and use promo code BESTFISHOIL to get a free 1-month supply. That's www.fishoil.best or call 888-920-1497.
Class meetup Monday night at Jimmy's Egg. Silent Night is going to be on stage. Silent Night will be on stage Monday night. Cannibalism in America. That's the topic. Cannibalism in America. Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 p.m. Monday night, Springfield, Missouri. And I'll post the information on the website during the next break. Miles is with us from across the pond. Mike is with us from across the studio room here. And all oil is not the same. Miles, would you like to address all oil is not the same? What do you think?
Well, where do we go to? The hydraulic oil first, or do we want to go into the engine oil first?
Let's start with hydraulic fluid first, and then let's talk about engine oil.
Have you witnessed that your hydraulic systems, when you work on full throttle with the baler, that the central unit gets pretty hot?
It gets way too hot, Miles, and I was thinking about, I took a high pressure hose and some degreaser and I cleaned off there's like a little radiator. It's a heat exchanger, an oil cooler to keep the hydraulic fluid cool, because under pressure it gets hot, and you need to keep it cool, otherwise you have more failures. So you're absolutely right. It gets hot.
Last time we talked about fluids, we were talking about ATF especially, and or engine oil, and that was the one critical item that needed to be in that was boron. The higher the boron amount in every kind of fluid, the better the heat transfer, the exchange of BTUs from one side to the other side there is. And if you look at the hydraulic oils, they're shaving all these particles like copper, boron, zinc. They're shaving that down in production, and simply produce a cheaper oil now. So even there, it's it's a good investment to check out the lab analysis for hydraulic fluids, ATFs, and engine oil. And main criteria there, boron. Get as much boron in a fluid as you can get, and your heat transfer will be more stable.
Mm-hmm. And so the cheaper the cheaper oils, the less expensive oils, they just don't have as much boron in them, and the boron transfers. Actually, it's the oil, it's the lubricant that transfers the heat from the metal parts to the cooling system. So in a internal combustion engine, the pistons get really hot, the bearings get really hot. The oil is flowing all around and on those parts. The oil transfers the heat to the walls of the cylinder, the block, and the block has passages that have coolant in them that transfers the heat away from the block into the radiator and out to the air. So the plan is you've got to have good oil. Or
with a longer chain or with a larger base package of of synthetic oil, you're on the safer side than if your base package in the oil, not the additives package, but the base package of the oil, has a larger, fully synthetic content.
Mm-hmm. And full synthetic oil, even the ones that say full synthetic oil on the bottle or the container, are not full synthetic as we would define it, right?
Well, it's the new and improved synthetic oil. It is when they put 17%, minimum 17% hydraulic. Where do I want to go with that? Synthetic oil into an oil. They can call it fully synthetic oil.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the point is, if we think that we are buying something that is really 100% synthetic oil, that is probably not the case. We're buying something that is a portion fully synthetic oil, but it's called full synthetic.
Vincent, I would like to go into the chain supply chain management. I don't know what you're seeing there with you, but we are having the first effects on not only spare parts, even hydraulic fluids, the good ones, and some vegetables are starting to fail to come in here from Italy or from Spain. Maybe they had a malproduction or simply the supply chain is not there. But what are you seeing there with your supply chain in America?
Okay. I got a call from Joey in Michigan. And Joey was going to come down to the farm, and we were going to get in the truck and head toward Kansas City to go to the KCI Expo. And I got a call from him, and he was all disappointed. And he said, "Vin, you're not going to believe it. I had, I was working on getting some brakes replaced, and the bearing on the axle of his Ford Excursion, a 3/4 ton SUV, had failed, and all he needed to do was, fix that. Well, he couldn't get the parts, and one supplier said, "Yeah, we can get it for you, no problem. $2,400 for the parts, and for a replacement axle, and we can have it for you in 8 days."
Wow.
Yeah. Now he's in Michigan. Now Detroit used to be the motor car capital of the world. So if any place would have auto parts, I would think that it would be Michigan. So I don't think he was able, no matter what steps he pulled to get his vehicle fixed, I don't think he's going to be able to make it to the expo. And I talked with him about it at length, and we said, we decided the best approach would be a low mileage used axle from a salvage yard from an area that did not have a lot of salt used on the roads. And that's what he's planning on doing. But the bottom line is this replacement is going to cost him in excess of $1,000 to have an axle replaced on his truck. And that would be a used axle. But he can't get it right away. So imagine the guy who has to go to work and has one vehicle. He'll miss, probably close to a week's worth of work and get hit with $1,000 minimum bill to replace that axle with a used one. Now, that's just one small problem. I had another very small problem. I had a brake light switch fail on a Mercedes ML320, and that's a little Mercedes SUV. It's a very common brake light switch. I can't get one anywhere near me. It has to be specially ordered, and they fail. They fail way too soon. Yeah. Well, you can get all kinds of brands. You've got to get the original equipment brand, otherwise the contacts overheat and the switch fails. Yeah.
Well, if you need one, I can send you one over of them from the first tier OEM that was doing that. But we see the same thing. Like, we are very fortunate because we stocked up on fuels, on diesel, on oils, on hydraulic fluids, and from spring on, and we see that delivery time for certain items just take longer. Like, if you have a Toyota, if you have a warranty issue with Toyota cars, being whatever, it takes you up to 8 to 9 weeks to get that done, to get it fixed. Or even Volkswagen. Yes, Volkswagen. Certain parts are coming out of Japan. You're not getting them in time. It takes 5 to 6 weeks to get them shipped in, and then distributed is another 2 to 3 weeks. So that's a problem. We're seeing that here, and we are pretty happy and very fortunate that we prepared that.
Yes.
Okay, we prepared for that, and we're very happy that we did, because now we can harvest the fruits for what we've prepared for here.
And that is a real problem for farmers. We don't control the weather, and when the fruit is ready, when the grass is ready, when the nuts are ready, that's the time we have to act. And they're very short windows, and the failures that we're experiencing can ruin a harvest, for a whole season. If we have a failure and we can't repair that failure. Michael from New York, you're on with Miles and Mike Parsons. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Guys,
good morning.
It may be worth a while just to use the old oxen and the big plow. I don't. I was wondering I'm sure you guys considered this, and if I missed this in the conversation, excuse me. But what about maybe doubling or tripling up on your radiators for your tranny and hydraulic fluids? Is that possible?
That's where I'm going, especially with the hydraulic fluid. That's the approach that I'm taking with our light trucks. Miles, what are you thinking?
Well, we have, you can double up on that, or you can have additional cooling systems installed to that, like a spray, fine mist that is coming onto your radiator, and have a different thermostat, using a different thermostat, so that takes down the heat right instantly away.
And also there's another chemical additive that I've experimented with, Miles. It's called water wetter. Yeah. And it makes water wetter than water is, and it helps improve the transfer of heat through the coolant, if you will. It's called.
It polarizes the water.
And it really works. There's no question. It's not like snake oil. This actually works. It's about $10 for, I think it's about an 8 ounce container, and you just add it to your radiator if you have room, or you take out a little bit of coolant and you add this, and it works really well. So if you're in an overheating situation and you need that little, let's say a 10% improvement, I believe that's about what you get, about 10% improvement. We had to haul some heavy equipment through the Appalachian Mountains with our 3/4 ton pickup, and we couldn't do it without water wetter. We just added water wetter to our coolant, and we were able to pull these heavy loads up the mountains without overheating. So, yes, it really worked. Now, another trick that you can do, and what we've done, and this is absolutely free, when we approach a really long, slow hill that we think that there's a chance of overheating, when those diesel engines with the turbos are running wide open throttle, they get pretty hot. So what we do is we turn on the heater full blast, open the windows, even in the summer, open the windows, turn on the heater, turn off the air conditioning, And that gives us probably another few percent because that heater core acts like another radiator in our cooling system. So we do that too. Michael, did you have another question?
I have actually another suggestion that maybe
hold that thought. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at PatriotNecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
PatriotNecklace.com?
PatriotNecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from PatriotNecklace.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Ossick with Famous Footwear. Did you know that premature birth is the #1 killer of babies? That's why we support the March of Dimes in the fight against premature birth. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment programs, and outreach to help moms have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Learn how you can help save babies' lives at marchofdimes.org.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
We've all heard the news stories. Another shooting, and they're getting worse.
That's why Infidel Body Armor introduces Infidel Fridays, exclusive 24-hour insider deals to save you money and possibly save your life. Make it a favorite when you log on to InfidelBodyArmor.com. Then be sure to visit each and every Infidel Friday to get special insider pricing, but for 24 hours only. That's InfidelBodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Mike Parsons is in the studio. Miles is in Europe. Michael in New York is on the phone. Michael, please continue.
Well, first, I'll also testify. I've used water wetter, and it definitely works. And you couple that with, I had a GMC Jimmy years back, and it had an oil leak, and I was on the go all summer with work. Barely checked the oil, guys. No exaggeration. So after so many months, intense heat during the summer, I said, I got to check that oil. It was bone dry. Now, I use Slick 50 on the engine and the water wetter and the radiator fluid, and that engine never seized up, and it even ran cool, and I was covering territory for that kind of work I was doing. I was doing pools in the day. And so I can testify to both those products, saving that engine, and just impossible otherwise. And also, exactly, guys, because, growing food, fruits and vegetables, they come in all at once, and, man, you got to be ready because it's a lot of waste if you don't harvest it all promptly, and I can relate to that right now. I got tons of peaches and figs I'm bringing in a little late, and I'm overwhelmed by it all, trying to salvage it all, and so it's really amazing, but there's nothing like it, people, when you grow it fresh and it's totally ripe, drops into your hands totally ripe. You can't buy that in the store, and everybody you share it with, they're amazed because they don't eat like that anymore because you can't get it in the store. But last, guys, real quick on, have you considered also on your radiators maybe mounting little fans and hooking up a solar panel so it's all powered, if necessary, off a separate battery system powered by the sun, and keep fans around those radiators so that you got that extra cooling effect since you're not getting that on a tractor?
Miles,
no. I wasn't going that way because it would need wiring and then the solar panel to put in a right spot to have the most effective sunshine to create a current for that. What I'm doing is I'm using the water wetter, but I'm using a product by LoopGuard. And in addition to that, if you need an extra kick for the coolant to cool the engine down, we have these fine misting spray nozzles. 2 or 3, some vehicles, 4 of them, and we spray them at the intercoolers and we spray them at the water heat exchanger, and that takes down the temperature right instantly.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the evaporating of the mist is what does that. Miles, you bring up a really good point, and one of the things that we probably overlook is how the transmissions are cooled. And a lot of automatic transmissions, are cooled with a separate heat exchanger inside the radiator, inside the end cap of the radiator.
Exactly.
And I don't think it's a very good idea. I would rather have a separate heat exchanger in front of the condenser, which is in front of the radiator on most vehicles. I'd rather have that to cool the transmission rather than bathe the transmission oil in a cooler that is, let's say, 150 degrees.
Well, you have the Nissans and the Toyotas having issues with that because they have a heat exchanger where at a very, very thin space, very small space, you have water coolant and ATF coming together and exchanging heat. And these coolers, they might get micro cracks, and then you have ATF leaking into the coolant, the water coolant. That's not the problem. But the bigger problem is when water coolant starts leaking into ATF, because then that coolant creates crystals, and they are razor sharp. This is like sandblasting your transmission from the inside.
Yeah, and so Miles, as you talk about that, how is that possible that the coolant could get into the transmission? Well, the coolant is typically at, we would use pounds per square inch here in the United States, at about 14 pounds per square inch of pressure. So there is a natural physical property that would encourage the coolant to get into the transmission fluid just by the sheer pressure of the cooling system. Michael, thank you so much for joining us from New York.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Have a great weekend, Mike.
And Miles, Mike Parsons, and I will be right back after these few short commercial announcements and top of the hour news. And let's talk about, vinegar, and let's talk about building a village, and let's talk about history that's not being taught. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowicz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallets, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI Armor.com. Come and take it.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Miles is with us from Europe. Mike Parsons is in the studio. I'm Vince Finelli. And we're talking about hydraulic failures. We're talking about logistics. We're talking about cooling system problems on all kinds of equipment, including automobiles, trucks, and farm equipment. Mike Parsons was telling me the story yesterday and just during the break about a small problem that he had with a tractor, an imported tractor. And this is something that will impact all of us in some respect. It really will. This is a story about he needed to get something as simple as an oil filter for his tractor. But what he wanted to do was do a better job. And he wanted to have a lower cost in the long run solution for this imported oil filter. And he's going to tell us a story about what he went through to try to get a simple part. And this is the kind of thing that Miles has been talking about. It's getting more and more difficult, and we're going to have to figure a lot of these things out for ourselves. So, Mike Parsons, please share that story with us about all you wanted to do was get an oil filter, right?
Yeah, I recently acquired a Chinese tractor. It's a Genma 454 LE. It was a tractor that was actually manufactured on a dirt floor in a warehouse in a plant in China that they make other brands of tractors, and now they've got a concrete floor, and they're manufacturing a Mahindra brand. But this tractor came to the United States with, instead of an oil filter, or the oil filter would go, they have a fuel filter made in China. And as most people know about oil filters, they have a bypass valve, which is a diaphragm with a spring behind it, which when your filter gets too loaded up, it will bypass the filter, allowing the oil to continue circulating. Well, a fuel filter doesn't have that. And when it gets clogged up and full, it just stops filtering, which can be devastating to an engine. And so I wanted to find a better solution. I wanted a real oil filter, and I wanted to eliminate having to order a Chinese fuel filter that would take about 2 weeks to get there and cost me about $20 in the process. And so I removed the filter, and I found the threaded male adapter that was a M22 by 1.5. It's a metric thread. And, I'm 54. I remember back when I could go to any number of machine shops and take them apart and say, hey, can you make me this? This has got a different thread. I want it to be just a threaded pipe. And the machinist would put it in you take a piece of pipe, chuck it up, and cut the threads, cut it off. Here you go. Literally within 30 minutes, I'd be walking out the door. Well, not so fast. The part itself, I would have to replace the entire oil filter housing, $35, but it's going to take 2 weeks. And I don't have that kind of time. So I started looking around. Parts manufacturers, well, they're hard to come by. I found a couple of machine shops, and they said, well, yeah, we'll make this, but it'll cost you because it takes 2 hours to set up the CNC machine, and then it'll only take maybe 30 seconds to spit out the part, but the 2 hours to set up the machine will cost you $100 an hour, so it's $200. So that wasn't cost effective, and I looked around, where can I find this type of a little male adapter threaded pipe in another application? And at the hydraulics hose location, I found that they actually had these fittings. Of course, they're very proud of those things, but I was able to get it, screw it into the existing oil filter housing, and spin on a Fram PH2 off the shelf, less than $4 real oil filter, or any variant thereof that will work. And then I'm back in business without having to wait weeks or spend hundreds of dollars. And it's just a matter of trying to apply what knowledge I had in different areas to find a suitable replacement part that's being used in a different application.
Conversions. The secrets behind our future in farming is having the ability to convert things to something else. So we already face situations like that when we have tractors that have specialities, some specialities on there that we have to convert them to something else here.
And Mike Parsons was telling me another story, which is almost hard to believe. I'm not saying it's not true, but it's a story about the oil that came in this tractor. Mike, would you share that? Because this is not something that we are used to in Europe, and we're not used to this in America.
It is, and this is a manufacturer that was brutally honest, not only with themselves but the customer, to the degree that in the owner's operating manual, it says in the very front page, notice, do not start engine until you remove the drain plug from the oil pan, drain the engine oil, and replace it with modern oil found in your country. That's because the oil that they were getting in China was not fit to be used as a lubricant in these engines, and they knew that in Europe and or United States we had better refining processes apparently and better quality oil, and so they wanted us to start off with a better quality oil. And somebody said, well, that's just some type of packing type of grease. No. It was the best oil they could get. Realize this is a company that started off of a dirt floor, but they were honest enough with themselves and their customers. They wanted us to know that, and so I've got this owner's, even though I'm not the original owner, I thought that was quite interesting that they would advise us to immediately drain what they put out in the product from the factory, get rid of it, and put in fresh oil from your country.
Miles, have you heard of that? You know, I've heard of the oil that's put in the first time so that you can fire up that engine and flush it right away and get the, the machining fragments that are left behind so they don't do engine damage. But I had not heard that there was an oil that's just not of the quality to run the vehicle. Break-in.
I haven't heard about that. Like the break-in oil, I know about break-in oils.
Sure.
And you exchange them pretty quickly after that. But that you, this kind of oil you were elaborating to, I don't know about that. But to be honest, we have only makes and models here that are pretty regional or pretty European. So I didn't come across a Chinese make tractor yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you've got an Ag King that's made in the same building, they market it in Europe under different names. Ag Pro and Ag King are made in the same location.
Okay.
So, Miles, what we're discussing here is that we are becoming, we're having to become more clever, more innovative, and we have to adapt things that we can find to problems that we have. So workarounds is what we're doing. And what Mike Parsons was talking about is, finding a long-term solution to a filter that he may not be able to get readily, and it's too expensive anyway.
Okay, let me go into the concept of building something like a friendship with other farmers. We have an association here, and I don't want to use that word association because I just found out Lark from Texas is listening in. Shout out to you. Happy that you're back and that your health is great again.
Right.
So greetings to you. So let's say a friendship between farmers or between shop owners and between people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has certain problems, and if you can share the load of these problems or help each out and finding out what kind of skills and what kind of needs somebody have and what kind of interests and hobbies there are that you can support each other, things are starting to get easier. And this is basically how we started here in the village and how to find out what the metal guy with the CNC machine, what he needs. And we found out, okay, he has 3 children. He needs somebody to, and his wife died 2 years ago, so he has a problem in watching the children and operating a shop.
Mm-hmm.
So we found somebody who volunteered to look after the children, to make homework with them while he was doing the projects, his projects or projects even for the farmers here. And so it grew. And right now it's just the right time to start something like that in your neck of the woods, because harvest is over,
mm-hmm.
almost over, and now Thanksgiving is coming up, and you have the opportunity to get to know your neighbors and bake a cake. Yeah, just deliver a piece of cake to them and say hi to them, and maybe share the idea and how you can help each other if things go downhill. That's how we started here.
Miles, that is so important. And sometimes I'm on the radio and I will hear outside the studio window a truck pull up down our driveway. We have a stone driveway, gravel driveway, and you can hear the tires going over the stones. And a lot of times it will be one of our neighbors, no announcement, no phone call saying, hey, listen, I'd like to come over. Is it okay? One of our neighbors will just show up, and he'll bring a bag of tomatoes or a bag of peppers and tomatoes.
Right.
And so I'll be on the air, and he and my wife will just have a cup of coffee in the kitchen. He'll stay a couple minutes and leave. And then if he has a problem with his computer or something, that his equipment that he needs some advice or counsel or some of my help, he'll call me and he'll say, hey, listen, I've got this problem. What do you think I should do? And I'll say, I'll be right over. And so we help each other. And now we don't have a whole village. It's just a few of us that do these things. And Miles, one of the words that I hear when your name comes up, like Joey from Michigan will call me and he'll say, I'm so jealous of Miles because, well, because of the village that you have created. He is jealous because, and and I as well, and I'm sure Mike Parsons as well. We can't develop that village. We can get a few friends together. We can have a meetup where we all, are on the same page, but we don't all live near each other. So we're scattered over.
You're right. Okay, we're going into a break.
Yeah,
so
let's talk about that, and let's build that village right here, right now.
Okay, let's build that village after the break.
Yeah. Mike Parsons is with us, Miles in Europe. I'm Vin Finelli. This is USAPrepares.com. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
My name is Dell, and I live in El Cajon, California. I was concerned about my cholesterol readings because I knew that high cholesterol is related to clogging of the arteries and increases the risk for heart attack and stroke. One day, I heard an ad for Heart and Body Extract, and I was skeptical, but I decided to give it a try. Man, the numbers don't lie.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowitz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallet, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Miles in Europe, Mike Parsons in the studio, and Mark in Pennsylvania. Welcome, Mark.
Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, gentlemen. Vincent, I very much appreciate you're on this topic. It's been on my mind for a long time. I've tried to share it with my friends back there in Missouri, and for the listeners, I am originally from Missouri, from the rural areas. this idea of cooperation and collaboration. People got to step out, put aside their egos and their little big fish in the little pond thing, or king of the mountain ideas and start working together. And like the Amish do. When the Amish need to build a house or a barn, they set aside what they're doing and they come together and many hands make light work. Okay,
right.
And they can put together a barn in a day. With 100 people coming together with a focus, hammer nails, screwing screws, whatever. And they got the thing done. So,
Mark,
why can't? Go ahead.
You know why the Amish do that, don't you? It's because, well, if they go fix their neighbor's barn real quick, okay, they're done. The neighbor's back on his feet. He keeps his cows and his goat in the barn, and the neighbor's wife's not coming over asking them for favors, ongoing forever and ever and ever. The sooner you help your neighbor get back on his feet, it's going to be less of a burden upon you. And the stronger the entire community is, when times get tough, the stronger the community can support itself.
Yeah. The other thing that comes up is our skill sets, the knowledge, the experience, the skill sets, the mentorship. Where's that gone? What we have to depend upon China for our machine shops? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
Well, Mark, you need to skip that mentorship. You are your own mentor from now on, because you cannot look to anybody. There's many opportunities on the internet even to find out how you do things. And I give you an example. I didn't paint a car. I haven't painted a car before. I had to learn that. Well, I had to paint the car twice, because the first time it didn't turn out very well, but the second time it turned out pretty okay. So now I know the hooks and the crannies with that. But you have to go forward and look at these sectors that will be important for your life, and how you then can offer that to your neighbor and tell them, like, look, for example, Vincent opens a new project with him. Okay, I do hydraulic repairs for my neighbors, and you just communicate that. And what I will do is I will mark up only like what it costs, and plus, let's say 10-15%, only that it's cost effective for me, that I don't put money on there. And if you have a problem, I will help you.
Mm-hmm.
So
I understand. And by the way, I've taken upon myself. I learned how to rebuild my engine on my own, but that was back in the day before the internet. Now the internet's a rich resource with all the YouTubes. You can learn anything pretty much, but it's still, and that's kind of like still reading it through a book, but it's still good to have the hands-on, and that's kind of missing. It is missing from our, the skill sets that, like in Europeans, Miles, and you're in Europe, and I know somebody's from Germany, and that grew up there, and it's our age area, the same age as we are, and they, from what I understand, in the Germans have this, when they have a sense of the trades. They still have a keen sense of the trades, and teaching the younger people a trade, and like really being keen on that trade or that skill set. And but this we got to start working together. And I know, Vince, you're doing your part to bring people together and work together. My idea of it was to bring together what I call smart teams, where people have a core base of knowledge in a certain area, and then they can bring that together for people surrounded by maybe 20 or 50 or 100 people if they need to focus on somebody to help out a neighbor. And then, and in the course of that, people will pick up their skill sets, you see. So, because no one of us can do it all, really. We're in this together. And I've just wondered, Vincent, how is that working back in Missouri? I mean, is it working? Are there people still on the king of their little hill, and they want to, they're profit motivated versus trying to work things out and help each other out? How's it work?
I think we're still kings of our own little hills, and we're trying to break that mold, so that, and that's one of the reasons why Mike Parsons is here on the farm. We're trying to break that mold, and we're trying to expand. Mike, how would you say what we're trying to do?
Let's catch this after the break.
Yep, and then Miles is going to help us build a village. Mark and Philly, thank you so much for the call. Class, this is USApreparedness.com. We're building a village, and Mike Parsons is here to help that process. And Miles is going to teach us how it's done in Europe when we come right back.
Okay, open your mouth and say ah.
When your child has a sore throat, you need to know when to get help. The doctor-recommended Say Ah Sore Throat Exam is your solution. The scientifically designed oral retractor offers a clear view of the throat, relaxing the tongue and minimizing gag reflex. Compare with a medical-grade chart, website, and app. Then you'll know just what to tell your doctor. A wellness plan in your hands in minutes. Go to SayAHHnow.com. SayAhNow.com, the new mainstay for every family's first aid kit.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from Reputation.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendovite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendovite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years. Extendovite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendovite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendovite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Hello?
Congratulations.
For what?
For losing all that weight. How'd you do it so fast?
ASAP.
ASAP what? What's that mean?
Are you ready to get as skinny as possible, as soon as possible, as simple as possible, and as sexy as possible?
I'm listening.
Then get with the ASAP program. It's real and it works. No smooth talk, no slick advertising, and no exaggerated claims of success.
I've got to know more.
Welcome to ASAP, as slim as possible. Whether you have 10, 20, or 50 pounds to lose, ASAP ASAP is your weight loss answer. ASAP targets the abnormal fat reserves and makes them available to be burned as fuel and contains no caffeine or hormones. Order ASAP at wholesale prices or join the team to share the business with others. Visit GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Lose weight and look great with ASAP, as slim as possible.
Miles in Europe, Mike Parsons across the studio. So, Mike, you've been here we rode around in the afternoon yesterday, walked miles through the woods. By the way, did you get any ticks on you?
I did not.
What do you think why is that?
I don't know. Either there's no ticks or maybe it's that stuff you sprayed on my clothes.
The cedar side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get any either. But, a couple days before, Mrs. Finelli had ticks on her. So I think it's a cedar side.
I think so, too.
Yeah. So, Mike Parsons, we were in the truck yesterday. What did you see? Can you describe maybe the land that doesn't seem to have a lot of damage, the sparse population? Tell us what you saw, and then let's build a village with Miles.
Very few people, very few cars, beautiful blue skies with not a chemtrail in sight.
That's just for a couple minutes, though.
Beautiful. But the people that we met were courteous. Going down the road, gravel road, which was the norm. The guy coming towards us on a four-wheeler, and we pulled over, and he pulled over and waved and let him pass, and of course, you waited to let him go so that you didn't kick up a cloud of dust, nor did he kick up a cloud of dust. That just respectfulness towards each other was something that you don't see too often, and that's what you find in a community. And the cool thing about this place is that there is an abundance of land available. That this is a place that people can live independently as much as they want, but work together as much as they want. And you don't have a bunch of dependency. And unfortunately, in big cities like Memphis, it's the land of the dependence, where you've got government types that produce nothing but draw a paycheck. And then, they continually raise taxes and predate on the public and slowly incorporate Agenda 21. And you've got, the contrast is here. It's no rules, just rights, as the saying would go.
Yeah, there are very, very few rules. I mean, was that guy on that four-wheeler coming toward us? He saw us from, let's say an eighth of a mile away, and he pulled over. He pulled over and stopped. We saw him, same time we pulled over and stopped. And, he realized that we were going to let him go so it wouldn't make dust, for him to breathe, because, we were in the cab of the truck and he wasn't. But that's the norm. You saw another guy in another part, a few miles away. We were approaching with our trucks, and he pulled over and waited for us. And we were going to pull over, except he already pulled over. He saw us first. And that's common. And he pulled way too far over, into the ditch so we could get by. He didn't have to pull that far over. He's just being a nice guy. That is what happens here.
Well, same thing here. We have, when I'm going downhill, I sometimes have a tractor coming towards me with between 10 and 20 tons of wood on its back. So, of course, I pull over and let him get the swing to get by me, or things like that. This is the absolute norm that has to be.
Mm-hmm. And it's a courtesy that should be instinctive, right? But just everybody should think this way. Get off their cell phones, stop paying attention to to themselves, and look around and be mindful of others and maybe others' needs. Miles, I don't know if this is what happens in your area, but if there's a funeral procession and the cars are coming toward you in a funeral procession, let's say there's 20 or 30 cars and they have their headlights on to indicate that they're all together. The oncoming traffic will all pull over to the side of the road and stop and wait. And is it necessary? Only because it's a courtesy. It is not necessary in terms of traffic. It is not necessary in terms of the law. It's just a It's just something that the village here does. So if there's a funeral, all the cars, even if they're late for work, they pull over and they stop and they wait in line until the entire funeral procession passes by.
Same thing here, but we don't. Here, it's not allowed to do that with your car. Our cemetery is close to the churches that we do have here, so we have horse carriages where we do that, and traffic just stops or avoids then traveling there. Just takes a detour to get to other parts of the village. Then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, Miles, let's build that village. What do you recommend that we do? It's difficult. It really is because.
Come on, Vincent. It's not difficult.
Well, I mean, it's not for me,
no,
but it seems to be difficult for others. It's not difficult for Mike.
Okay,
Mike
you need
Parsons.
to get off your butt. First thing, get off your butt. And there, if you want to do that, if you want to really start something, so you are the one that has to start it. You have to lead. You cannot follow. You have to lead. And it doesn't matter whether you have followers or not at first. That will come at some point in time. So you start with something and you offer something to your neighbors that if they are in some kind of situation they need help with, that you will assist them with that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
One simple thing. Find two neighbors that have their interests in different fields. The one can be a carpenter. The other one can be a car mechanic. The third one can be an electrician. If you have a problem, let's help each other. Or things like if you have children that are in school and they have difficulties in school and they need help. Well, older folks who still know how to read books can help there.
That's a really good point. And Miles, we used to have barbecues. We used to have family get-togethers. We used to have, the aunts and the uncles and the cousins and the grandparents and the parents would get together, a couple times during the summer and, for Christmas. And they would have, you could call it a backyard party, a picnic. And we used to do those things in the 1950s and the 1960s here.
Stop right here. We do that. We do that deliberately. Like we do a barbecue. We have a barbecue, a grill out or a eat out. And we do hydraulic oil change for tractors. Like we just share the cost of a drum of hydraulic oil and then we make a barbecue with it.
What a great idea. Mike, what do you think? Could you pull that off in your neck of the woods in Tennessee?
Unfortunately, I don't think where I live at the current time, I could do that. I think that those people are just on a totally different planet from me. They're all about themselves, and they're more like the vultures sitting on the power line waiting for the poor soul to die so they can go pick his bones clean.
Well, this is just one example. Like we started with motor oil. We did that with ATF. And there we started to have more followers or more friends. And we started then asking, hey, what's your skill? What can you do? What have you learned? What can you bring to the group then? And so in the first year, basically what we did was we were surveying the skills and having these barbecues or cookouts or in a barn fires where we bought tires. Like we bought I don't know how many tires for the neighborhood for the neighborhoods here, like winter tires that are needed here, or chains. So we agree on certain items that everybody needs, or on certain services that somebody anyhow will need in the year. So this is how you start in getting a group together.
I love the concept, and that's what I'm going to try to do here. I really am. One of the difficulties I have here, Miles, is I'm not from here. My accent is a little different. Coming from Virginia into the Ozarks, I'm not from here. There are families who have been here a long time. They're related to other families. There are bloodlines, and we just are not part of that. Is that the same with you, Mike Parsons?
Yeah, considering when I moved from Memphis to Tipton County, I moved 20 miles farther to the northeast, and I was immediately informed that you ain't from around here. which meant you're not one of us. Don't even try to engage yourself in what we do, but we want to know everything about what you do. So it's tribalism at its worst, unfortunately. And I try to tell people, look, you make sure that your neighbors are in good shape. That way, when times get tough, they're not all coming looking for you. They're all working together as a team. And, I know that some radio show hosts, they'll talk about, well, we need to be the sheepdog as the Patriots and leading the sheeple. And I said, no. We need to make these people stand up on their back legs and be wolves. Independently, a wolf can survive on his own, but yet he can live in a pack, function effectively in a pack to the betterment of the pack. We need to become a pack of wolves so that we can effectively help out the community, but independently, we can stand on our own 2 feet if we need to.
Mike, when some people think of wolves, they think of predators. You're not describing wolves that way.
As a member of the Cherokee Wolf Clan who's had wolves, I've got full-blooded wolves. My entire life I've had wolves, and I raise wolves. And I've done a tremendous amount of research. There's never been a confirmed case where a wild wolf has ever killed a human in the United States, but yet in the early 1800s they were demonized. The propaganda was put out across the country that wolves were killing people, and the government, said citizens were clamoring, wanting to know, what are we going to do? Well, here, $5, we'll pay you $5, kill it, skin it, turn it into the essayer. And then fast forward 15 years, they just took the word wolf out and inserted the word Indian. So the wolf was the fabled enemy because these Europeans who had been brought up with the myths of Little Red Riding Hood and Peter and the Wolf, they thought these stories were true when in fact they weren't. The wolves were coming into the cities predating on dead people at most that had been stacked up like cordwood because they didn't know what to do with them. So many people died from the plague. Well, the reality is that wolves are not a threat to anybody. They're just out there living their lives and want to be left alone. That's us. We just want to live our lives and be left alone. And to the degree that we can get along with people, we can work together. But we're not going to be victimized. We're not going to be run over, and we will survive.
Going into a break, and when we come back, we'll continue with building a village. We've got a preparedness expo, the RK Prepper Show, Kansas City Expo Center. It's going on right now with Matt Stein and Rick Miller. I'll be there tomorrow, and I'll be there Sunday. And I'll be presenting a seminar, and there'll be plenty of seminars. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
No way. Is that a real bullet necklace?
No, it's a 9mm bullet necklace with matching earrings, you'll notice.
Those are awesome. Where'd you get them?
Dave found them at patriotnecklace.com.
Wow.
They have a variety of calibers and necklaces and earrings and keychains.
Patriotnecklace.com?
Patriotnecklace.com.
Your choice of caliber bullet includes a rugged American-made stainless steel dog tag chain. A percentage of every sale goes to military and service-related charities. And get a discount by entering GCN at checkout. Show your patriotism and support our troops with a bullet necklace from patriotnecklace.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey neighbor, what are you doing digging? You had a heart attack last year.
Oh, I know. I was told no more hard labor.
Then why are you digging?
Well, I've been taking Extendivite. It's been approved to help my heart.
Extendivite? Is that a new drug?
No, not a drug. It's more like an herbal combination made from garlic and cayenne.
Herbal? How can that help?
Well, actually, we've taken herbs for thousands of years. Extendivite is doing the job for me.
Does your doctor know about Extendivite?
Yeah, my doctor knows, and he said it seems to be working for you, so don't stop taking it. I feel great taking Extendivite. I don't want to stop.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Did you know that select musical tones have the power to heal? By listening to 7 amazing songs that contain these tones, you can experience the power of music therapy.
I used to work in a pretty stressful atmosphere, but I started using the whole tones in the office, and I'm experiencing more focus, motivation, peace, and better relationships.
WholeTones99.com is a unique music therapy program featuring 7 secret ancient healing frequencies uncovered in the music of King David. Now you too can unlock the healing secrets of the Bible, as we are offering a free sample of this music so that you can discover their power to heal, relieve stress, and break negative cycles.
I use the tones to calm my 5, 3, and 2-year-olds to stop the fighting, and it works.
Now you can experience the healing music therapy in the comfort of your own home or office. Visit WholeTones99.com and get a free song. Visit WHOLETones99.com today for your free song. That's WholeTones99.com. WholeTones99.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS? Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely. We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Wow. Miles, you know, I've never done this before, but I'll tell you what we're doing. We are on the air with Miles from Europe, and Mike Parsons is bidding on a piece of property on the phone. What's the bid?
Wow.
We said we'll be there in 7 minutes after the hour. They said, no, we're starting bidding now. I said, okay. So I handed Mike the phone and we're bidding on a farm right now. We'll have no idea how this is going to go. But anyway, so Miles, you know what we would love to do? One of the reasons that Mike Parsons is here is we would love to build this village. And, Joey from Michigan loves this area. He's been down here. There are other instructors who have been to the farm. They love the idea that we're free, as best as can be, as in the United States. There's very little help from the government here. There's very few police. We can pretty much do a lot of things that we want to do, and we really like that. So there are people who want to move here, and so we're looking at the farms around the area, and we just happen to find one that's being auctioned off right this second. I mean, the bidding is going on right now, and Mike is on the phone with the auctioneer. So anyway, Miles, we really like the idea of a village, and we're very envious of you because you've pulled this off. But I think you have, because of history, you have an advantage, and that is, you know what? We're all in this together, and we can prove it because we were bombed during World War II, right? And there are people who remember that.
Well, it's not the bombing; it's more the starvation that came during and after World War II,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to organize food and things of need on a daily basis. So the old folks, they knew, but they're dying out now. And the younger folks, even if we don't like each other, we need to pull together because we are losing farms. We're losing properties to Agenda 21 if we don't. And very soon that will happen to you as well with the new environment encyclica that the Pope has written, and where the U.S. government is taking all steps towards it to increase the speed of implementation of Agenda 21 there. You will see farms and properties being lost to that. So maybe some people with you in the States have to go through hardship in order then to get together. But, you know, look, we here today are offering the most services to the villages and to the cities here in the surrounding. And we pulled that off in 5 years. The first year was a little bit hard, but then everybody got more and more interested in that because everybody benefited out that. First, we didn't make money on that. We just followed the way on where are the needs, what are the services that are necessary for the people, what are the products, or what are the activities that are wanted here, like not only having a cookout every weekend or having the female baking cake almost every day and bringing them for free. Or I had just brought honey over here yesterday as a sample. So you find the things in your area that are needed, and you start working on that and offering that out to somebody.
Yeah, someone has to start by being nice first. Someone has to do that. Right. And, you know, Joey did that here. Joey showed up at the farm and he brought this gift, and it's a plaque that we have in our kitchen. And he said, you know, I was thinking of you and freedom. And so I bought this at I don't know, I guess at a sale of some kind. And he handed it to me and I said, would you sign this? So I have his signature on this piece of Americana in the kitchen that reminds me of Joey every day. So Joey started out by, being nice to us, and it's contagious. It really is contagious.
You're paying it forward. This is
a
lifestyle you need to live. Pay it forward.
Yep. Miles, thank you so much for being with us. And class, I'll be at the RK Prepper Show on tomorrow and Sunday. KCI Expo Center. Your information is on the website. And the Midwest Homesteaders and Survival Prepper Expo is Saturday and Sunday. So information's on the website. We'd love to see you at the expos. Mike Parsons is with us. Mike, any parting words? You got 10 seconds.
Love many, trust few, learn to paddle your own canoe.
You have a great weekend, guys.
Miles, same to you. Thanks so much for being with us. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Did you know that drinking pure, high-alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.